I am Dr. Shiti Malhotra. I'm an assistant teaching professor with the linguistics program here at Northeastern University. I am a theoretical linguist, but I also recently do research in bilingualism and second language acquisition. This semester, fall 2020, I taught a one need credit seminar course in bilingualism, and the title of the course was Two Languages, Two Minds. As I said before, my recent research interest is in bilingualism and second language acquisition. I usually teach a high level seminar course in bilingualism with the linguistics program. But I also wanted to let people become more aware of the field. So I wanted to teach this course because this is something I'm hugely invested in. So we usually had weekly discussions where I would ask students to go and explore a little bit about their connection with bilingualism. But in the end, there were two major projects. One was a group assignment, and another was a case study or a research paper that they had to do. Uh, the case study or the research paper is of individual's choice. They could work on a bilingual or they could do a theoretical research. And also in a group project, they had to do a review of a documentary on bilingualism that we watched. So in the case study, the final research paper, students had to either do like a case study on a bilingual, that means looking at what kind of bilingual they are, how did they become bilingual, what kind of social connection do they have, are they also bicultural now that they are bilingual, and what kind of cognitive implications would it have. The theoretical one was more connected to brain and research, for instance. So a couple of students worked on the connection between, what kind of brain impairments one can have and how bilingualism can help cope up with them. So for instance, Alzheimer or dementia, and how being a bilingual helps you get better with that one. There was another student who was working on the brain areas which are involved in bilingualism, and how is that different from, say, brain areas which are involved in other cognitive processes like, music or math or spatial learning or things like that. So another student who worked on a theoretical topic was related to aphasia. So patients who have some sort of a brain impairment go through aphasia, and how being a uh, bilingual aphagic is slightly different from somebody who is a monolingual aphagic. Um, in terms of case studies, I had a lot of students who worked with their parents and with their siblings or their friends. So the good part about all this was that they were able to reach out to their family members. And many a times students told me that they didn't know that their parents were, as a child were a bilingual, and they now turned up into monolingual. So when they actually reached out to their parents and started talking to them, they realized how much emotionally connected their parents were to the languages that they learned as a child. And almost everybody told me that now they have a better emotional connection with the person they worked with. So these were some of the positives that we got from the course. One thing that I always tell my intro to linguistics students is that you have fresh minds and you come up with fresh ideas. You're not yet biased by theoretical ideas. So that was the best part about this Explorer program, that they were new. They were not corrupted by the theories yet. So they will come up with their own personal experience, which were not tempered by any of the biases. And that's the best part about teaching a first year seminar course, because you are discussing, you are exchanging ideas, which are also based on a person's personal experiences and personal opinions. So throughout the course, what happened is people came up, uh, when they entered the course, they had certain ideas about what bilingualism is, and how that works. And by the end of the course, almost everybody told me that now they have a different view of how languages work. So in linguistics, we work on languages, and whether it's one language or two language or cross linguistic applications. So my take home from this, the positive take home from this, is that almost everybody now knows a little bit about how languages work, and hopefully a lot more about how bilinguals work.